Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. How are you guys doing today? Happy Mother's Day for all of you out there that celebrate Mother's Day. We literally just walked in the door like 10 minutes ago from our Mother's Day lunch, which I'll tell you guys about in just a second. We had such a great time. We came home. Alex put the top back on his Jeep because he had taken the top down on our way back, which is really kind of nice. I took my hat off. My hair after I took a shower where it was like crazy blowing in the wind, and then so when we got back, he was putting the top back on. It takes like 2 minutes. He's so quick at it. And then we came inside and I was like, what are you gonna do? And he was like, I'm just gonna lay down for a little bit. So he's upstairs probably looking at TikToks and we'll probably fall asleep. It is such a beautiful day for a walk, but also it's a really great day for a nap. It just feels like a beautiful, lazy Sunday to take a nap. And it's funny because I'm like texting a lot of my friends that are moms and I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, well, we did do this and now we're home and now I'm taking a nap for Mother's Day. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. So anyway, I had one bird feeder that I had to fill. So I filled the one bird feeder. If you didn't see my Instagram yesterday, here, let me show you my Instagram. I don't know if it's still up. But I took pictures, like close-up pictures of all of the bird feeders. And I showed the new bird feeder that I have. Hold on a second. Why is it not showing it? Okay, is this how I do it? Okay. And I posted pictures of my mom. Okay, so here's the wooden bird feeder, if you can see it. And this is the one they love. This is the green short one that they love. And then this is the one in the tree that they don't pay any attention to. And this is the new one. It's like this long cylinder one, which somebody said yesterday, I think they may have DM'd me or something, or maybe they commented on my video, I can't remember. But they said that is specifically for like finches. Which I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know a lot about bird species yet. I plan to learn this summer. I don't know if that's, and then other people like messaged me and were like, or commented, I don't know, and they said, oh, I have one of those, and like, no birds ever go to it. Somebody, I don't know if they direct messaged me or if it was a comment on my video, but they said, I've had that for like 2 years and like none of my birds ever go to it. There's literally like 2 birds on mine right now. And I don't know if those are finches or what they are. I do believe that in Indianapolis we have like a lot of like goldfinches and finches. But I could be wrong about that. So don't quote me on that. I could be completely wrong. I just remember my mom talking about like goldfinches when I was a little kid. There's actually, this is so interesting. This is the first time ever that there's 2. Here, I'll show you. There's 2 that are hanging on. So I had to move them all around to hang the cylinder one up. So I moved them last night. I don't want to get up and stand because if I get up and stand, then the birds will fly away. But so the green one right there's no birds in it. But if you can see on the wooden one, can you see it? I don't know, hold on a second. There's a bird inside the wooden one right now. And then up there I put the other one. And then, where's the cylinder one? It's all out of focus. I don't want to stop this. Why can't I see? I can't even see it. It's so badly out of focus. Hold on, okay. Well, I don't even know if you can see it. Anyway, there's 2 birds on the cylinder one. Maybe it's because I'm trying to like, I did it too fast or something. I don't know. There's the cylinder one. You can see there's a bird to the right and there's a bird down to the lower left of it. Since I put it up yesterday, so I hung it where the other wooden one was. Since I've hung it yesterday, a lot of birds have been going to it. So there's like 4 different areas where a bird can sit on it. You like pull out these little ledges for them and then they kind of like eat the food from like the hole that's in the side. I put it out there yesterday because I didn't even think about like finches or anything like that. I was literally thinking about, but you know what's so weird? I don't know why I never connected this before. Or maybe I did 20 years ago and I just don't remember. But that in the book To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, that Atticus teaches Scout about it's a sin to kill a mockingbird because all they do is, you know, make beautiful music for us. But then their name is Finch in the book, like Atticus Finch, you know, Jean Louise Finch. Is the book all just about birds? I just missed it all along. I thought it was about lessons in life. I don't know. Anyway, I I didn't think anything about the finches when I was putting it up. And I'm sure I'll get comments on that one alone. People will be like, that is absolutely 100% a finch feeder. I don't know. I don't know if those are finches on it. I have no idea. All I know is that since yesterday when I hung it, there have been like a lot of birds on it. And I just wanted something that, because they like the green one. I'm thinking about getting another one of those little fat green ones. But it's kind of funny that there's no other birds. There's one inside the wooden one. I'm like, or is that like a chipmunk or a squirrel? No, it's a bird. But I think they had a hard time yesterday because I changed it. Did I change it yesterday before I started my vlog? No, I don't remember. But I think when I put the wooden one closer to the tree, I actually thought it would help them because they kind of like sit on the branch sometimes and they could just like fly in there. But none of them really went in the wooden one yesterday. And then the other one, the finch feeder, oh, now there's 2 birds on the thick green one. But I'm having to fill them all, like, every single day. Like, I was like, look, so I came out here and I fed them, and then I put some, like, squirrel feed around the ground. Well, it's not just squirrel feed. It's, like, squirrel and other, like, critters, but I think the geese and the ducks really like that. So, and the bunny was out there last night. I took a picture of the bunny. So I was out here listening to an audiobook. Alex was inside watching The Good Wife. I sent him a picture. Where is it at? So here was the bunny from last night. You can hardly see it. Well, it wasn't even last night. It was early evening. That was sitting out there and he was eating. And Alex sent me the bunny emoji and I said, he's so cute. And Alex said, are you holding him? And I said, no, he left. He was full. So, a lot of nature going on in the neighborhood, as always, because I talk about it every day. I am really, like, to be honest with you, like, I really want to get the front porch and stuff ready. I mean, I can wait another 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm really excited about it. And just getting, like, I may tomorrow or late, maybe even later today, put one of the bird baths out there. I have like 4. I mean, those are, I can like pick them up and move them. They're not like heavy or anything like that. So I may put one of the bird baths out. When I was reading the Margaret Wrinkle book, one of the things that she says, and that's why she has a heated bird bath, is that in the wintertime is really when like the birds and the squirrels and stuff need like water outside because a lot of the water is frozen or it's underground. And so they don't have a lot of accessibility to water like they do in the spring and summer. Just something to note. I never really thought about that. You know, you see in the spring and summer, everybody's got bird baths out and stuff like that. But she talked in there about how in the wintertime is actually the most important time to have like bird feeders, bird baths, and things like that. So I may put one of these out there. I think my neighbor is singing next door. The way it sounded like it was coming around the building. So maybe she has her garage door open. But yeah, we just got back from Mother's Day lunch. So we went to this place. Last year, I think we went to Verde, which is this Mexican restaurant that we love. And we're friends with like the owners. There's like 5 of them here. And we're like good friends with the owners of all of those. We've like known them for years and years and years. And so there's like a bar in Indianapolis that plays like all Latin music and things like that. It's called the Stereo. And so we're also like friends with the owners, the 2 owners of that. And they opened a restaurant. It's like a tapas restaurant that's been open for like a month. And so we were like in this group text for Mother's Day and they were all like, oh, let's go back to Verde again, stuff like that. Alex's uncle was like thinking about possibly doing a barbecue. And so, anyway, Alex set the whole thing up. And then we didn't even know if Carlos and Liliana and the kids could come because Carlitos had a game this morning. So they didn't know, he had a football game this morning. So they didn't know what time, was it football or baseball? I don't know. But they didn't know what time they were going to get out of there. So at the last minute, they're like, we just got done, we can come too. And the people were so nice. They like, you know, set the whole table up for us. So we all got to go. So it was Alex and I, his mom, Carlos and Liliana and the kids, Alex's grandma, his aunt and uncle, and his cousin. So yeah, it was really fun. And it was like a tapas restaurant, so they got like, I'm going to mispronounce this word so badly, but the paella, they got a seafood one, which is just like rice and all kinds of seafood. They got a seafood one, and then we got like a vegetarian one for me, but everybody seemed to really like the vegetarian one. And then they got like I think a chicken one too. They got 2 chicken ones. And then the kids and Alex's uncle got cheeseburgers and fries. And then Alex's cousin and I and his aunt got this thing to split. They had a lot of vegetarian options and vegan options and gluten-free options. I was surprised. and it was like this pasta sauce. It was like this red sauce, but it was like had this like cheese in it. It was called something. It was like the specialty. It was like Blanca's specialty. So, there's 3 birds on that new bird feeder now. They really like that one. And so, I got that and I shared it with her. And then like everybody got dessert at the end. Well, like half the people did, so they shared it. And I tried. Alex got flan and he like ate the whole thing. Liliana, I tried a little bit of hers, and it was like this kind of like, she was like, it tastes like a cinnamon roll. So it tastes like a chocolate cinnamon roll. I got full really, really quick. So I have been very, very good with the eating lately. I'm very proud of myself. Alex yesterday, I got done vlogging. I was out here listening to my audiobook, and I think I was talking on the phone at that point, maybe to Tanya. And he was like, I'm going to run to the store. Do you need anything? And I was like, no, what are you going to the grocery store for? And he's like, I'm craving nachos. He came home and he made this like huge plate of these nachos. And usually like that kind of gets my wheels turning and I'm really hungry. So, you know, I bought all these protein drinks and protein shakes and stuff like that because the nutritionist suggested that like months ago, right? And they've just been basically in the refrigerator. Well, I looked at them like 2 weeks ago and like half of them expire, and I mean, I've got probably in there right now. Well, now I've been drinking them so much this week, but I have probably, I don't know, 6 of the protein waters. They have like 18 grams of protein in them. And then the protein shakes, I think they're that Premier brand. Nikki told me that's what she uses, that she likes, that she puts in her coffee and stuff like that. And so I got the cinnamon roll and I think root beer float. They both taste the same to me. The cinnamon roll ones, but they're like, anyway, so they're real high in protein. So I've been drinking those because Alex, so they were in the fridge and they take up a lot of room, you know? And so I'd be like, I'm so hungry. And Alex would be like, well, this was like for the last 3 months. He'd be like, well, why don't you have a protein shake? And I'm like, because I don't want a protein shake. I want chips and hummus, or, you know what I mean? Like, I want something bad. So, you know, I'm trying to be really, really good about all this kind of stuff. And so I would say like the last week and a half, 2 weeks, when I get hungry, I like break open like protein shake or protein water, and I'm just like, and it really helps. I will say it has really, really helped me. But I've also found that I'm not as hungry because I do that, and like I'm usually like for a long time, like when I tell this to people, they're like, oh, you kind of do intermittent fasting already. I've done it for years and years and years. I literally eat 1 time a day, but at that 1 time a day, I don't eat healthy at all. And sometimes late at night, like I'll graze. But I've gotten better about that. And so I've noticed, because like I'll have like when I get up in the morning, like I'll put like protein, some of the shake, if I, you know, like if I have coffee, I'll put it in some of my coffee. I don't love it because it kind of tastes like creamer, but, and also I don't have a problem just drinking a protein shake. I've done it for years, like, well, not consistently, but years ago when I was working out. I was just telling Nikki this the other night. It's like I would come home from working out, I would, you know, with dinner, I would have like make my own protein shakes, and I liked them. I don't mind the aftertaste of a protein shake, so I can just drink a protein shake now. But, you know, now I'm like, and I would say in the last 2 weeks, like I'll eat something for dinner, and then, but it's always small. It's like one of the meals that I have from like Trader Joe's or somewhere. And then in between, if I'm hungry, I'll just whip out a protein shake or a protein water. And it's really helped me, like, not be super hungry late at night, which, you know, they always, I mean, these are things I know that they say, like, we'll eat 5 small meals a day, and eat, you know. But so when we went today, I got full, like, really quick. I just don't think I'm used to eating like that. You know, even when we go to Patachou now, I get, like, soup and whole wheat toast. So I got full, like, really, really early. Alex was like, do you want to order dessert? And I was like, no, I'm full. Like, I'm full. So, but we had a blast, and, yeah, we had a really, really good time. It was so fun seeing everybody. Everybody was real tired by the end, though. So, everybody went home, and I got my mother-in-law some things, this really cool card, and then, Alex got her, like, 4, like, plants. I don't know what they are. From, like, the store, he got, like, 4 different, just plants like plant in the ground, but then he gave like some to his aunt, some to his mom, got his grandma flowers. Everybody got Liliana stuff and his grandma, and it was fun. We actually saw some friends of ours while we were there too. They were leaving right when we got there. So it was nice. It was really, really nice. I am super tired. I stayed up way late last night watching that American Deadly Family, or whatever it is, that documentary on Netflix. I had to find out what happened at the end of it. I watched that last night. It was actually the second thing that I watched last night. So, my day yesterday was so perfection and so not what I expected at all. So I filmed my vlog, you know, yesterday. We went to brunch and then I came back and then I filmed my vlog. And so got that done. It was kind of a long vlog yesterday too. I think it was, well, like longer than I've been doing because they've been like an hour, like right at an hour. Maybe it wasn't that long. I thought it was like an hour and 15 minutes or something. Let's see. How long was yesterday's vlog? An hour. It was an hour and 16 minutes and 59 seconds. So almost 1 second short of an hour and 17 minutes. Anyway, I think I said at the beginning, but it might be a short vlog. This too might be a short vlog. We'll never know. Well, we will know at the end of it. But when I got done vlogging yesterday, did we watch something last night, Alex and I? Oh, no, we didn't, because he is so into The Good Wife. He is, like, absolutely loving it. And I said something to him, like, do you want to watch a movie or whatever? And he was like, we can. And I was like, well, you seem like you're really into your show. He goes, I'm so into my show. I go, babe, listen, I just want to listen to audiobook and read. I said, because I wanted to finish that Cabin and The Girl in Cabin 13 by A.J. Rivers. Thank you, Nikki, for that recommendation. I'm gonna read the next one because she said it gets better as the series goes on. So, but I was like, I just want to finish that book. I honestly was like, I'll just finish that book and then I'll probably watch a bunch of shows. Is what I thought I would do. So, yeah, like I would go in and like, you know, I was sitting out here listening to my audiobook and I did so much. Okay, so yesterday I cleaned the shower, but it was like the peripheral cleaning. We're starting to do like kind of our spring cleaning. So I cleaned the shower yesterday. Alex folded all the towels. I had done all the towels like the day before. I started doing all kinds of laundry because like my laundry is piled up a little bit this week. So I was doing all kinds of laundry last night. I think I did like 4 loads of laundry, folded it, put the stuff on the hangers and stuff like that. Did dishes, put the dishes away, cleaned the kitchen, dusted some of the living room. Alex was doing a bunch of stuff too. We're just kind of like trying. I said, let's just get stuff ready for the summer. He's like, yeah, I want like, you know, the house to be like really nice for the summer. So, but like he was watching a show while he was doing stuff in the living room and I was listening to my audiobook while I was doing all this stuff and waiting for the vlog to get done. So I finished the A.J. Rivers book, The Girl in Cabin 13. I gave it 2 stars. It was okay. Like, I told Nikki, I said, girl, she's like, and she goes, I've read them for years. She's like, I don't know how I found them, Kindle Unlimited or something. She's like, I just love them so much. I go, listen, we like what we like, right? I said, and Tani started reading them because Nikki recommended them to him a couple years ago, and Tani likes them. But I said, if I had picked this book out and we were going to read it together, you would like, Nikki be like, oh, girl, this book is so bad. I mean, it didn't even like, so it's about this FBI agent named Emma Griffin, okay? And she goes to this small town called Featherly Cove or something like that. And then she falls in love with this guy, like, in 2 days. It was really kind of more of, like, a romance. I said, this is kind of like a cozy mystery a little bit, except the people weren't real eccentric, and it just, I don't know. She whips these books out, this A.J. Rivers. She whips these books out like nobody's business. So, and I can't imagine how, because the ideas are genius. So she's undercover in a small town to find the serial killer. The thing is, they don't really ever talk about the serial killer. Like the entire, so like her first night there, like of course nobody likes her in town because an undercover FBI agent, instead of like, you know, getting to know people, she goes right up to them and says, so, do you remember so-and-so? Like the woman that was, one of the women that were killed. I mean, she's no undercover FBI agent. And so then, and Nikki said, like, part of what she likes is the development of the relationships between the consistent characters, which, listen, I get that all day long in series. But then, I'm not going to ruin the book if you want to read it. Because, like I said, I'm going to keep on trying to read the series. I'll give it, like, 3 books. And if by then I can't get into it, then I'm done. But anyway, so she opens her door and there's this guy and he, like, falls dead into her he's, like, dead. And he falls into her doorway and he's got this letter in his hand. And so then it's her trying to figure out who killed this man. Because apparently, because a dead man shows up on her doorstep, he has a connection to the serial killer. But there's really no history about the serial killer, except for at the beginning. Like, the FBI sent her there to find out about the serial killer. But there's, like, no investigation into, like, the serial killer's murders. It's all about this guy that died on her doorstep. And then it's like, did the cop do it? Did the sheriff do it? Did Judy at the bar do it? It's like, it's dumb, is what it is. And I can tell you right now that I had it figured out 20 pages in. I was like, oh, this is who did it. Nikki didn't even remember the book. I'm telling her about it, and she's like, I think I need to read that one again. I said, girl, don't waste your time. You're on book 35 or some 33 at this point. Don't waste your time. It's not a good read. So anyway, I got done with that book. And I just felt so productive yesterday. You know, I'd like got this vlog, we went out to brunch, we ran errands, I cleaned the shower. Oh, I used that steam vac thing on our shower. I don't know. It didn't seem to work real well. Like, I learned how to use it. I hadn't really used it a whole lot. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do the steam vac thing. And Nikki said it did wonders for her oven. I don't know about an oven, but for our shower, it was okay. But then it kind of got me into, like, I want to, like, really do, like, some deep cleaning on the shower. So I started that. Did, like, the floor and the door and stuff like that. And then I was like, no, I'm going to kind of wait. And then later I took a shower. And so when I was in the shower, do you ever do this? I kind of, like, did a little bit more when I was in the shower. So I had, like, this, like, rag in there. And I was like, I'm going to do a little bit more. But anyway, so I started listening to this book. I was, like, going through all, like, you guys, I have a ridiculous amount of books on my Goodreads. I have 567 titles that I have not read in my library, not started yet. And yesterday I bought 3 more books. Nikki and I were talking, she's like, oh, everybody's talking about this on TikTok. Such Quiet Girls by Noelle Ehe. So I bought that. And then Count My Lies was recommended to me. And that's by Sophie Stava. So I bought that one. And then somebody messaged me and said, don't forget that Kristen Perrin's second book just came out. So whoever you are, thank you for that. If you put it in a comment, I don't know. And I was like, the cover looks kind of familiar to me. And I was like, who is Kristen Perrin? What book did I, like, why would I? And I was like, what book is it? So it's a sequel to, and then I was like, oh, I remember this. The Castle Knoll Files book 2. I just read the first book not too long ago. So I bought that one. It's 9 hours and 2 minutes. That'll probably be my next read, actually. So anyway, so I'm like, I was looking through my list. Okay, on Audible, when you go on Audible, I have 2 credits. Don't be jealous. I was explaining this to Nikki last night. Okay, like, I know a lot of people don't like to buy credits. Or like to buy books. So on Audible, you can buy credits. Well, you get, like, either 1 or 2 a month, okay? Depending on your subscription. Like, I get 2 a month because I pay, like, you know, for the higher subscription. But then you also get these, like, Audible-only editions. You get all these, there's a bunch of free books. So you don't really need 2 credits. I just do because some of the books are, like, $18 to $25 when they first come out. So, okay, for a long time, and then they have these sales, like, probably every 3 months, and the sales are pretty phenomenal. I mean, sometimes they'll have, like, 50% off the entire site, and then I'll go in and I'll spend, like, $100 or $200. That's why I have so many books in here, because I'll end up buying, like, 20 books. I'll be like, if it's on my, because then, or they'll say, like, these books on your wish list, because I have a wish list on here, you just add, like, a book that you're wanting to maybe read at some point, are on sale, and then I'll just go in and buy all those if they're all on sale, because if it's, like, $5 a book. So I figured it out a couple years ago, because the other thing you can do is you can buy extra credits. You can buy 1, 3, or 5. Well, 5 credits, I think, is $59.99, okay? Which means that, I think, plus tax. It comes out to, like, 1 credit is, like, $11.99. I figured it out years ago. So if a book, okay, is, like, from the $12 to $14 range, I buy it. Because that's what I would be paying if I bought a credit. If it's, like, $18 to $20, I use a credit for it. Does that make sense? So I know a lot of people don't like to buy books on Audible, but it's no different to me than walking in a store and buying a book. You know what I mean? So, and there are a lot of books on here that are $18 to $25 to more dollars than that. And there's a lot of books on here that are really cheap. So anyway, I bought those last night. But, so on Goodreads, so they have, on Goodreads, Audible, I don't know if you have seen, like, they have, like, all these, if you have Audible, then you'll know. But it's, like, next up in your series, like, this A.J. Rivers book, The Girl That Vanished. And then they have, only from Audible, they're books that you can only get on Audible. Which, if I had to recommend one and you like true crime, the one I would do is about the DC shooter. Because you can only get it on Audible. What is that book called? Oh, God, I wish Mel was here. It's such a good book. It has something to do with God. Well, I don't know. Anyway, based on the books you've bought before, more listens we think you'll enjoy, contemporary romance, thrillers and suspense, because you read The Girl in Cabin 13, bestsellers, and then it has all the bestsellers on Audible on here. Hidden Gems, handpicked for you. I never like any of those. I can just tell you that right now. Start a new series. Trending listens, we think you'll enjoy. So these are the books that I usually, the trending listens is where I look. So right now it's like Freida McFadden, The Tenant, The Drowning Game, Barbara Nicholas, Stephen King, The Long Walk, this book, A Quiet Life in the Country. I think it's like a cozy mystery or something. Brain Damage, The Wife Upstairs, The Ritual, The Perfect Divorce, The Boomerang. That's how I found out about The Perfect Divorce. Well, it's book 2, okay? So I have to read The Perfect Marriage first. And then Trending on Goodreads is another section that I really, really like. Oh, hold on a second. Trending on Goodreads is another section I really like. So it has the Emily Henry book, which I just bought. So people keep on saying, you should, oh, here come Gertrude. Here come Gertrude and Alice. Well, is it just you, Gertrude? People keep on saying, you need to read People You Meet on Vacation. I've already read it. I read it years ago. It was okay. I'm not a big Emily Henry fan. I mean, she's romance. And I know people love romance, but like Caroline loves this Abby Jimenez. I have to be kind of in the mood for a book like that. Like, I couldn't do a constant diet of it. You know, we all like what we like. But Trending on Goodreads, and has this Emily Henry book, and then it has, so I'll look through any of these. Carly Fortune, One Golden Summer. Now that is kind of a romance that I might read for the summer. Silver Elite by Danny Francis. Ashley Flowers, The Missing Half. The Wedding People, which is what the book I was talking about the other day that I read and I loved. Such Quiet Girls, that's the one I just bought. The Frederick Bachman, My Friends. Has anybody read this? Because I do like Frederick Bachman. I haven't read all this stuff. But this one looks good. So if anybody's read it and liked it, let me know. The Names, Shield of Sparrows. Anyway, Blue Sisters. I have that book, and I heard it was really, really good. So I'm going to read that. Freida McFadden. She's always got like 5 books on this list. Death Row. Oh, this is coming out. Actually, this is not out yet. Nikki and I were talking about this last night. It's in June. I think it comes out. Yeah, see, it's pre-order. You have to pre-order it. June 2nd. Oh, June 1st it comes out. Okay. And then Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. Such a great book. Remarkably Bright Creatures, which I have not read, but I have on Audible. Anyway, and then Geneva Rose. So when I'm going through here, if it looks like a thriller, I'll read it. So there was this Ashley Flowers book, The Missing Half, okay? And I was like, oh, I had read this to Nikki the other night because I bought it. And I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna listen to this because it's trending, people are talking about it and whatever. So I started it yesterday. I cannot even tell you guys the last time that I have started reading or started listening to an audiobook. Listen, ladies, they're both out here, okay? I just put that food down there. Leave some for the bunny rabbit, okay? We don't want to be eating all the food. Okay. So, I cannot tell you the last time that I, listened to a book or read a book in one day. I finished that book last night. Started it, I don't even know what time. I finished the A.J. Rivers book, and then I started that book I had such a great evening. I would come inside to get a cup of coffee or some water. I made pink lemonade yesterday, or the night, maybe I think it was the day before. Anyway, and Alex would be like, I'd be like, are you bored of your show yet? He's like, oh, I'm so into this show. And he's like, are you enjoying your book? I'm like, I'm so enjoying my book. I had such a great time reading this book. So I have an hour and 40 minutes left of it. And I think it was 9:30 or something. And Alex was getting really, really tired. He said, I think I'm going to watch 2 more episodes and I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go upstairs. And I said, okay. And I said, I think I'm going to lay down. Since you're going to go upstairs, I'm going to try to lay down and take a nap. So I went upstairs. I don't know why this is happening to me because I'm not getting a lot of sleep. But this is the second night in a row. I laid down and I just could not fall asleep for a nap. I was like, I cannot sleep. So finally, after laying there for 15 minutes, and I think part of it is that I was so excited to read my books and watch my shows yet again. I was so excited about it, right? And so, because I knew that I wanted to finish, the night before I'd started the documentary, the true crime documentary, Southern Fried Lies, and so I knew that I wanted to finish that, and I was halfway through this book, and I was like, okay, if I can just get down the next 40 minutes, and then I can listen to the last hour tomorrow, and then I can just after I get done vlogging, I can listen to it and finish it, whatever. So I got up, and I was like, I'm gonna take a shower, so I took a shower, and lit the candles in there, and somebody's walking by or something because they're looking at these geese. Hey, how are you? Good. Are you admiring my geese? Yeah. They probably came from where you guys are down there. Huh? They probably came from where you guys are down there. Feel free to take them with you. So anyway, those are the 2 sisters that live there's a condo in between them, and then they go to each other's house for dinner 3 nights a week or whatever, but they live on the lake. And the geese, Like, they go to that corner, and then they go to the, like, where the bridge is, where I sometimes walk. They're down there. And so I think the geese are, like, right. The one sister is, like, she's at the very end before the bridge or something like that. Or maybe she's the one next to it. I can't remember. But they're so sweet. My mom and my Aunt Kathy, I was going to say they would have loved that. My mom would have loved it. The camera stopped right as I was getting ready to tell a little joke. My mom would have loved it. It would have driven my Aunt Kathy crazy. My Aunt Kathy would have gone crazy. I mean, I think it was enough that my mom lived, like, one neighborhood over. I think that if my mom was literally, like, across the street, she'd be like, hey, Kathy, how are you? I think, well, she wouldn't even wave. She'd just walk over and, like, oh, you know, my aunt was always like, just walk in. So my mom would be, like, at her house, like, 5 times a day. I think it would have driven my Aunt Kathy crazy. Caroline and her family today are doing all kinds of stuff. I texted all my people today. We FaceTimed. Well, I texted her already, but this is Jessie, my brother-in-law, you know, Fufu and Jessie. It's Jessie's first Mother's Day, which is super exciting. So I was texting her, and she was talking about how she can't wait to see me when she comes home and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, they're coming home, like, I think in, like, oh my God, you guys, well, they're coming home in, like, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. The pool, so Memorial Day weekend is 2 weeks from today, okay? So the pool should be opening Memorial Day weekend. They may make us wait until Monday, but I can't imagine. I think they'll do, like, Saturday or Sunday. So that, if that's the case, we literally have 2 weeks from today until the pool opens. We did it. We made it, y'all. I cannot believe I have made it. It just seems surreal, you know, like, this is why I think it's so important for me to live in the present moment, you know, and not take things for granted and not wish on a star for the next moment to happen, because I always get so down, you know, when the pool closes and people start going inside. And I don't know if you guys can tell on camera. I don't know if it's obvious at all. But, like, when I'm sitting out here and I see more people walk by and my neighbor's flowers come out, I'm talking about the hostas, especially this year with the birds and stuff like that, and I can go down to the pool and whatever, you know, it's like, I don't know, for me, I just feel alive. It's completely different, you know? I've been talking to a couple people about this week. It's like, I'll talk about the book in a second. So you know, I don't really leave the house at all, hardly, you know. Sunday, Alex and I go to brunch, and we might run a couple errands after that. If I go to a meeting with Tanya, that's like a couple hours. And on Wednesdays with Caroline. That's literally, unless we have like a dinner or something to go to or whatever, I leave the house max 3 times a week. Sometimes 1 time a week, you know. And, like, I feel like this has kind of evolved in the last 3+ years, you know, since the accident. It's like, I don't know, I've talked a lot to my therapist about this, but I don't really know how to explain the feeling. I don't feel like I'm isolating. If I get away from home for too long, I kind of feel like I'm being pulled back home. Like, I just want to be home. I just feel safe at home. And it's not even like I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like cozy, safe, if that makes sense. I love our house. I mean, our house is small. I mean, it's, you know, nothing to, it's nothing to brag about, but I love our home, you know, and I love the neighbors and the yard and the birds. And I love all of it, and watching my shows and stuff. I don't know, I feel like I've kind of like, if you remember a couple years ago, I talked about how my life just felt really small. My life is small. I don't know that I have a problem with it today, but every once in a while, it'll occur to me, like, you haven't left the house in like 4 days. You know, and you know, I've had some people in my life that have been fantastic about reaching out to me and been like, hey, like, I'll come pick you up tomorrow, like, whatever you need. And I'll be honest with you, people reach out a lot. Well, I would say the same people reach out. And then there are people that I've never heard from in 3 years, ever, not once. People that I thought we were really dear friends, you know, but things happen in life, you know. But now, like Caroline can always tell, like, you know, she usually comes picks me up about 12:15. About 2 o'clock, I start getting a little antsy. She's like, you're ready to go home, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of getting a little bit ready to go home. You know, people all the time are like, take Ubers, take Ubers. I don't like taking Ubers. I don't know, it feels like I'm just kind of out there in the world by myself, which, it's not about an independence thing. Like, you know, if I lived, like, in a city somewhere where I could walk all around, I would walk all around. It's not about, like, an agoraphobia thing, like, I don't want to leave the house. It's not that. It's not, like, a fear of people or a fear of going outside. I do have a little, I have a lot of social anxiety. But, like, if I lived in, like, downtown Carmel or something that's, like, you know, apartment buildings and, you know, restaurants and stores, I would walk around, like, every day. I'd probably go out, get a coffee every day, you know, go up to the gas station, get a fountain pop. Like, I would walk around, listen to my audiobooks, you know. There's not really anywhere to walk. Like, the gas station that's closest over there, I mean, plus it's gas stations, right? To walk there, which there's no sidewalk, so you're talking about walking on the side of the road. Walking there is probably like a 6-minute drive. But you're talking about here and then all the way, I mean, that's probably an hour plus walk. If. The gas station that's over this way, and it's, again, no sidewalks down a main road, it's probably even longer than that. And I'm not walking 2 hours for a fountain pop. I'm just not, you know? And so, you know, people do ask me, like, hey, do you want to go do this or whatever? I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I think I'm just going to stay home. But I don't know, like, sometimes it's kind of weird that I just, like, I think to myself, like, you even left the house in 4 days, you know? Yeah. And I think that's why, like, being able to be outside more and just enjoy the front porch and just even interacting with people when they walk by. You know, my neighbor popping by like she did yesterday. She's been fantastic. All my neighbors are so good. You know, like when the Uber the other day left, my neighbor's like, do you need me to take you? The neighbors across, I mean, all my neighbors are fantastic, you know? I don't know. I will also say this, like, I don't have the yearning so much just to go places, just to go. Like, I kind of had that back in the day. Like, oh, let's go to this store. I don't really feel like that anymore. Like, not to say that I don't go, you know, and just shop, like, aimlessly and buy crap I don't need. That does happen every once in a while, but I don't know, I just don't really, like, spend, I mean, I know, like, I do all these hauls, and it probably seems extravagant, but it's nowhere compared to what I spent, you know, 5 years ago. Like, when I would drive around, and I would get this, and get that, and get this, you know, it's like crumble cookies were $30, or something like that, you know, I haven't done a crumble cookie review in forever. And it's like I drive here, and I drive there, and I, you know, go in this store, and I'd walk around, and I buy 6 candles here, and do this, you know, I don't do that anymore. I don't know. That's really not the point. The point is that we made it. That's the point. The point is that like, I don't even know that sometimes I recognize that, like, I don't leave the house because now I'm just so used to just not leaving the house, you know? And then I get up and I film videos and I fill the bird feeder and, you know, in the summer go to the pool, in the winter, like, figure out what I'm gonna do because I can't go outside. You know, it's like, that's just become my life at this point. There was somewhere along the way that I just got real used to that and it just started seeming really, really normal for me. I don't know. This winter, I think because of all the shows I was watching, I got back into reading, like, physical copy books again. It actually seemed to go by pretty quickly. Like, it feels like it's crazy to me that it's May already and that we're talking about the pool opening again. I mean, it feels honestly kind of like, when I look back, it's like, where did the winter go? Like, it feels like it was just September and the pool is closing. I think that's part of it for me, is that I don't want it to be September and me look back and be like, God, the pool just opened yesterday. You know what I mean? I really want to live in each moment and each day. You know, I was, like, thinking about filming on my channels the other day and, like, what I'm gonna do, and I was like, I'm gonna film when I want to film, like, this whole summer. That's what I'm not, you know, I've done a really good job at taking it day by day, and if I get up and I want to go to the pool and spend the whole day at the pool and then come back and do a vlog, that's what I'm gonna do. If I get up and I want to film 7 videos and go to the pool for 20 minutes or not go to the pool at all, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm literally gonna play it day by day, but I'm not gonna be, the moments are passing by me, you know, like, and I'm like, I am not going to, it's like when I read the Margaret Rinkle book, we live as if we have unlimited time. We don't, you know, And I have done so well at just just being at lunch today, like just sitting there and just like being like, I love my family, you know? And my stepmom today, she's planting flowers all over the house. We were talking earlier, and that's what makes her happy, and that's what she wanted to do, you know? And it's like, I feel like I also have a support system around me of people that do really well living in the present moment. Alex does, his whole family does. Tanya's very good at it, you know? All of my friends are like that, and so it's like, I think going into this summer, and maybe it's just a way of life that I need to go for with my channels, you know? It's like, I made a whole list yesterday of my videos that I'm gonna film for this week. I literally outlined, like, all the TV shows that I'm gonna do. I'm like, oh, some days I might have to do 2 videos over here. It's like, you know what, like, I think I just need to normalize for myself that, like, if I wake up tomorrow morning and I'm like, I don't really feel like filming today, that I don't need to make excuses for it. I don't need to put out 100 statements about it. I just take the day off, you know? I'll still vlog, because I mean, it's just that, for me, it's just, I don't know, it's a connection for me. The vlogging is more than just a video to me. It's a connection that I have with you guys. You know, it's also a connection to the outside world. And I think that maybe, I don't know that I really say that a whole lot, but, but I think I need to normalize for myself, maybe just like, I don't know, I guess I kind of like beat myself up sometimes, like if you don't film, you know, all these videos, whatever. But then I get into it and I love it so much. So I'm just like, okay, what's my next one? What's my next one? You know, it's almost kind of like I'm on like, you know, I'm like on fast forward mode in the house when I'm filming these videos. And then all of a sudden it's 9 o'clock and I'm exhausted and I'm like, where'd the day go? You know what I mean? And I think like, that's why yesterday was so good for me. So I'm going to finish this vlog up today, and then it's going to be a repeat of yesterday. Except for Sister Wives is on tonight, so I got to do that and take notes. But, you know, this winter was not bad. I mean, it was good, and I actually, like, I started keeping this list. I think I deleted it. Do you guys remember when I was keeping the list of snow days? Let's look in here and see if I kept it or if I deleted it. Hold on a second. Snow days. I deleted it. Isn't there, like, recently deleted? Did I delete snow days? I feel like I deleted it recently. It's not coming up. Hold on. Oh, you know why? Because it's all of my, like, notes on different shows that I watch. Polyfam Season 1, Episode 1, In Quad We Trust. Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 23, The Stars Will Fall. It's all my notes from that. And then I delete them when I'm done with that. But anyway, I even kept a list of, like, how many days it snowed. But then, we got, like, halfway through winter, and I was like, we've had a lot of snow days. I don't need to keep this list anymore. You know what I mean? And, I don't know what that is about the keeping list. I don't know if it doesn't, if you have OCD, you'll understand what I'm saying. Like, people will be like, first of all, this is a really rude question to ask somebody with OCD. If you knowingly know they have OCD, don't look at that person and be like, unless you're, like, close to them and they've said, yeah, you can ask me about those questions. But, like to say, like, kind of like, hey, can I ask you something? You know, like, is what you're doing right now, is that kind of like an OCD thing? I'm just curious. That's okay, maybe. But, like, I've had people literally look at me, not close friends of mine, but I've had literally people look at me when I've done stuff and they'd be like, is that part of your OCD? I'm like, that is such a rude question to ask somebody. I mean, I don't know that people get it, but OCD is a mental health issue. You know, like, you don't just, like, I mean, you wouldn't look at somebody that has, like, you know, I don't know, I just think it's so rude to ask somebody that. If you have OCD, what I'm about to say to you will make total sense to you, okay? There are things that you do that feel OCD-ish or ritualistic, and that make you feel like, okay, like the OCD is kicking back in. And then there's other things that seem like they would be OCD, but they really don't feel that way inside. Like how you do them don't seem repetitive or whatever, if that makes sense. If you have OCD, you're, like, nodding right now. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, if all of a sudden I would, like, okay, stop and, like, turn off my phone, stop it. And if I did that, like, you know, so many times, then I would be like, oh, that's an OCD trait, right? Me keeping lists can be an OCD thing. I have to be careful with it, right? But it isn't always. Like, me keeping lists of, like, snow days is just interest for me to look. Does that make sense? Like, people, like, some people might be like, is that like an OCD thing? No, and that's not an OCD thing. It's just, I wanted to keep a list of how many snow days we had because I thought it'd be fun to look back on. That's not an OCD thing. It feels completely different. I'm trying to think of how a list could be. Well, I think the keeping of lists, like every day I make a list. I mean, I think that's, okay, so the things that I do that could be based or have a basis or a foundation and being ritualistic, like I keep a list every day of all the videos I'm making. When I make a video, I cross through it, right? When I've made the thumbnail, I put a dot next to it, okay? When it's uploading, I put a check mark next to it. When it's completed and it's posted, I put a check mark with a circle next, and I circle it next to it. That way I know the video's done, okay? That's just organization for me, right? What would be OCD-ish to me is if, like, and I have to be careful of this. I have to be careful of this, okay? And if you have OCD, you'll understand what I'm about to say. What would be OCD for me is if I'm doing the list and I forgot to do, like, the check marks, then I would have to remake the whole list and include the check marks because I hadn't previously put the check marks. That's OCD-ish. Does that make sense? That if I don't do that, then something bad in the world is going to happen. It's how it all thinks. Anyway. But, you know, I'm working with my therapist, honest to God, like 90% of it is gone. I mean, now I can, like, feel it coming on. So, the keeping the list of the snow days, but I mean, we had some beautiful snow this year. We had really some great days of snow that I love. It was very wintry. It was fun to read the thrillers. The Christmas books were great. It was a good winter. But my spirit just seems to be alive, you know, when the weather comes back like this. And it just makes me so happy. And I'm just so grateful for it. And I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if you're like, oh my God, Peter's attitude is completely different now that the weather's changed. But, like, we were talking about it at lunch. I mean, so first of all, right now it's 4:14. Temperature and weather check. I think when we were coming back, the car said it was 79 degrees. It's supposed to be like 82 today. Oh, so it says 80 right now. 80 degrees and sunny. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna look at the weather for the next couple days just to kind of be prepared. Tomorrow 74, cloudy, 75, 80 on Wednesday. Oh, 88 on Thursday, 85 on Friday. Oh, then 60s again. No, we don't like that. Oh, wait. No. Oh, Sunday the 25th, it's supposed to rain. That's race day. I hope, a few showers in the morning. Oh, well, it's supposed to clear up. I mean, it's 2 weeks away, so the weather will change. It could be like 85 and sunny by then. But anyway, I don't know, it's just like so pretty today. And the sun is going down. I think it says on here when the sun goes down. The sun is like staying out so late. Where does it say when the sun goes down? Sun rises at 6:32 a.m. Sunset is at 8:49 p.m. And that's crazy, right? So, I don't know. There's something about it that just cheers me up and makes me happier. Makes me just feel so content and happy. So, yeah. So let's have a happy and content week this week. Okay, so let's talk about this book. So I started listening to this book last night. The book is called The Missing Half. So I'd seen it come up that Goodreads thing, and I looked, and I was like, oh, I already have this downloaded. I'd already, like, bought it or whatever. So I listened to it last night. I posted it on my Instagram. Okay, so Ashley Flowers, Nikki told me this when I read it to her the other night. I did not know that Ashley Flowers was the, what do you call it? Was one of the hosts of the podcast Crime Junkies, I think is what it's called, which is out of Indianapolis. Never met her. I think at Rev last year, she was like one of the people they were interviewing when we walked in. Never met her, don't know anything about her. But anyway, so I posted it that I was reading this last night, and like a couple people were like, oh, I wanted to know what you thought. But then I got a couple messages and people were like, I wanted to know what you thought about her. And I was like, is she problematic? And so I asked Nikki, and Nikki was like, the only thing I know is that people were pissed because they didn't like cite their sources or something. She's like, but I don't know. So if she's problematic, I don't know anything about it. But what I will tell you is she writes a damn good thriller. So I read the second half, and it's called The Missing Half, and it takes place in Mishawaka. I'll just give you a quick synopsis because the synopsis that they have written is long, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody because I would highly recommend this book as a thriller. Do I think it's the greatest book I've ever read? No. I gave it 5 stars, and it was a great book to just binge read in one day. Again, I would say I don't know that I think the audible narration matters, like if you're going to read it on Kindle Unlimited or whatever. I don't think the narration is so fantastic that, you know, and I'll do a full reaction to it probably this week on my BookTube channel. But it's about this woman, and she's like 30, I think, and she's like an alcoholic, and she's in recovery unwillingly because she's gotten like a DUI. And I will say this, the recovery aspects of it and talking about being an alcoholic and stuff are like 100% accurate. And, so she goes to like meetings and stuff like that, but she's craving a lot. And so, like, when the book opens, it's like this woman's calling her name, and she's like, oh no, not like another reporter. And it takes place in Mishawaka, which is like 2.5 hours, 3 hours from me on the north of Indiana. It's like Mishawaka's like by South Bend kind of area, isn't it? I know it's north. Now look, when I say Mishawaka, South Bend, it'll be like, people will be like, Peter, I don't go up to, it's called the region. I don't go up to the region ever. Mishawaka. Let's look at the distance between Indianapolis. I don't even know how to spell Mishawaka. Mishawaka, Indiana. Oh, I spelled it right. Mishawaka to Indy distance. Let's look and see how long it is. 2 hours and 25 minutes. Let's look up South Bend. Okay, wait. Oh, it's right north of Fort Wayne, where my dad's from. So no, it's not by South Bend. Or is it? No. Mishawaka. It's literally like 20 minutes north of where my dad, no. Yeah, 20 minutes, maybe not even that much, of from where my dad grew up. How far is it from South Bend? Oh, 13 minutes. It is close to South Bend. Anyway, it's called the region, that north area of Indiana. So it's about this small town outside of Mishawaka. And so then you know it's like a true crime. And so anyway, the girl, the main character, her name is Nicole. Her sister like disappeared like 8 years ago. And like when like right at like she was out of high school, she was working at this record store and stuff like that. And she's like felt like remorseful, guilty about it all these years later. And then this other woman comes along and her sister went missing like the month before. And their cases are always tied together because they went missing from like the same area like a month apart. And so is it a serial killer? Was it a kidnapper? Like what is it? And so these two women go trying to find out like what happened to their sisters. It's phenomenal. And I will tell you, the end does not disappoint. I did not see the ending coming. Like I knew it was going to be something like that I didn't expect at the ending, but it was like I was like, oh, I love those kind of endings, you know? So when I got done with that, I looked it up, and when I was reading the synopsis on here, hold on a second. When I was reading the synopsis, it says, where is it at? From the best-selling author of, from the #1 New York Times best-selling author of All Good All Good People Here. And I was like, oh, she's got another book. And it's a New York Times bestseller. Is that just because she was on Crime Junkies podcast? I mean, they're really famous, right? So I'm like, oh, I want to read that too. So I started it last night. And I didn't get that far into it, but I have 3 hours and 57 minutes left. And let me just tell you, this one I am already, like, I could have binge watched it. I could have binge listened to it last night. I am so into it already. My sister-in-law, Jessie, actually messaged me because I put it on Instagram. She goes, I loved both of those so much. She's like, they were both so good. So, one of the best books of the year, Pop Sugar. You can't ever know for sure what happens behind closed doors. Everyone from Wakarusa, Indiana. Is this like a real place? I've never heard of it. Wakarusa. Oh, is it a real place? Oh, it is. 2 hours and 30 minutes for me. In Elkhart County. Where is she from? Where's she from, though? Because it's real north. It's like right by Mishawaka. Is this a... Wakarusa is a small farming and manufacturing town. It's literally, like, I just looked on the map. Look, it's right by Mishawaka. They both take... Is she from there? Where's Ashley Flowers from? I was going to say Indianapolis. Oh, somebody commented on my vlog yesterday. I got all these pictures from lunch today. Oh, look at me and my mother-in-law. Alex and Carlos and his mom. So these are the pictures I posted of my mom. So this was when my dad was doing estate boards in Colorado, and they stayed at the Stanley Hotel. And this is my mom on, what is that called? It was like Estes Park. I posted these on my Instagram today. Somebody just asked the other day about pictures of my mom. And this is like one of my favorite pictures of my mom. This is from Evanston, Illinois. It was before I was born, or like near Chicago. And then this is my mom from, she would have been 2 weeks sober in this picture, and it was Caroline's rehearsal dinner. And she loved that dress so much. Okay, what was I looking at? I wanted to see this comment that somebody sent me. Here's our friend Brittany that married us. She walked for Philip Plein yesterday. Some of us have more glamorous lives than I do. She's one of my very dear friends. I love her so much. I'm so proud of her. She's been to through hell and back. Okay, Bunny Rabbit. Where was I going to show you this? Oh, shoot. Where was the comment? Maybe I was just going to read comments on my vlogs. Let me go through here and see. People loved when my neighbor came over here. She's willing to do videos. She's like, she loves all that stuff. She's like, throw up our videos from the pool. I was like, no, girl, I'm not doing all that. Oh, and thank you, by the way, for all the suggestions on, so many of you left me suggestions on palm trees and ferns, and I screenshot each one of them. Weird Neffy said, Peter, I could care less does not mean what you think it means. It does not mean you do not care. It means you do care a little bit. It's, I could care less, not care less. So I appreciate the comment. I wish I had a $1 bill for every time somebody's told me that in my life, especially on YouTube. I'm going to tell you right now, there are certain things in life. I just did this the other day on my review channel. Like I say Reese's, and apparently that like really upsets people. I have said for years, probably since I was like 6, couldn't care less. It's from a movie, actually. I don't know what movie it is, from anime, maybe something like that. I've said it for years and years and years. I know that grammatically it makes no sense. So thank you for pointing that out to me. And I know that you were just being really nice because you're somebody that watches my video a lot. But I totally am fully aware that what I'm saying does not make any sense grammatically. But we'll keep on saying it. So I'm just gonna tell you, like, I mean, if it, like, I can tell you probably in the next video I'll probably say I couldn't care less. And I understand that it doesn't make any sense. I've had so many people in my life correct me about that, and I don't care. You get to a point where your life, you're just like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. My best friend, Tanya, she mispronounces a lot of words and people's names and stuff like that. And she taught me one time, she said, and I don't feel this way about your comment. I think you were trying to, like, you know, educate me on that. And I appreciate it. But, like, I'll never forget that one time, like, somebody said to Tanya something like, it was like this girl that she was sponsoring, and like corrected Tanya about somebody's name or something like that. And Tanya said, you know what? She said, it's actually, she said, the girl said something, she was nasty about it. And she said something about it, it's kind of like rude that you don't know, like, and Tanya said, it's actually ruder to correct somebody than it is to the fact that I got it wrong mistakenly, you know, or that I don't really, you know, whatever. So I appreciate that comment. Thank you, though. I do so much. But I just wanted to address that because I can tell you, probably in 4 videos this week, I'll say I couldn't care less. I could care less. I'm going to say I couldn't care less. It just rolls off my tongue easier. Is that okay? I know you're like, Peter, I don't care. But I appreciate you explaining it to me, so thank you. Can you get a pop gazebo? Temu has a 12 by 12, or I don't even know what that is, and I don't think I've ever ordered anything off of Temu in my life. It kind of scares me, in all honesty. Yeah, here's more of you guys telling me so much about the plant, so I appreciate it. Where is it that I wanted to... Somebody was saying something about... People were saying that we need to do videos together. People were saying how pretty she is. She didn't read any of these comments. I'm going to read these, so she's going to love this. Oh, this made me so happy when Brittany said, whenever I talk about you, I'll call you my friend so that I don't explain that there's some guy who sits on his porch and talks for an hour. For example, my friend told me about this place in Indy called Verde. That is so funny. What are the comments underneath this? Where is the comment that I was looking at? Because I usually, when people say stuff to me, I'm usually like, I have no idea who this person is whatsoever. And like somebody commented and said, I think you live near my other favorite YouTuber, which was really sweet that I'm anybody's favorite. The camera stopped. I didn't even realize it stopped. Somebody, Kylie said, if you have a Menards nearby, make a trip with Caroline on Cousin Fun Day. Would be fun. I get all my bird feeder supplies and feed there, and they have so many cute feeders and accessories like bird baths and yard stuff. So I only have one thing to say to that comment, and that comment is, save good money at Menards. Why is that so stupid? I hadn't even thought of Menards as bird stuff, so thank you, Kylie. I appreciate it. I'm going to go there and look. Where is this damn comment somebody left me? Somebody asked me, Deb said something about, do I still go to spooky places? I go to spooky places all the time. They're just not spooky to other people. They scare the hell out of me. I haven't been to like a spooky place since Fox Hollow. Liz said, when you said glasses in your pocket, I thought, and I've got one hand in my pocket and the other one is giving a peace sign. Okay, this is so funny. Caroline and I were on the way home from Cousin Fun Day the other day, and that song came on the radio. And so Caroline and I are both like, got one hand in my pocket and another hand. And Caroline went like that with a peace sign. And I go, I can't stand that Alanis Morissette. I couldn't. I've never been, I know this is probably a real unpopular opinion, and I don't know, she saved the world or did some real incredible shit or something like that. I can't stand Alanis Morissette. I don't like her music. There's just something about her I just don't like. Nicole Kidman, same thing. I like Nicole Kidman, some of her movies, but I just like, when I see her like on a red carpet and stuff, I'm like, next. I can't do her. Oh my God, do you know what I watched last night? Okay, so I think it's the Jimmy Kimmel interview with Jennifer Coolidge when she was first on White Lotus. This is the kind of shit I watch on YouTube, okay? And singing competitions like America's Next Top Model, I was going to say. Britain's Got Talent, those shows, stuff like that. The Golden Buzzer, you know, all that. What's that, The Voice? I watch all the clips of those online. But this is the kind of stuff that I love too, okay? So I love when Jennifer Coolidge is talking about White Lotus. It was like the first season she was on it after she got nominated and all that stuff. And she's on Jimmy Kimmel. And he's asking her about, like, Ariana Grande's impression of Jennifer Coolidge, which is fantastic, by the way. And when I got done watching it, there was this video underneath it. I knew that Ariana Grande did celebrity impressions. I don't know how many she did. I think I had seen her do Christina Aguilera, and it's just like spot on. Her celebrity impressions, go Google, if you are interested in Ariana Grande at all, search her up, Ariana Grande, like on YouTube, Ariana Grande impressions. I mean, they're spot on, you guys. She does Eugene Levy from Best in Show. She did it for like Halloween one year. Oh my God, it's hilarious. But thank you for that reminder, Liz, of Cousin Fun Day. Thank you. Where is the comment that I was wanting to read? No, I missed it because I'm into the comments I was reading in the video yesterday. Okay, give me just a second. I've got one hand in my pocket. See, these are the comments that I read on the video yesterday. Some of them. Deb said the one where you... That one of my older videos appeared on their feed. The one where I went to a paranormal hunt with friends to a place called something Fox Hollow Farm. The serial killer playground of Herb Baumeister. Oh, she left another comment. Okay, where is the comment that I wanted to read you guys? This is going to drive me crazy. I have to find it or it's going to drive me crazy. Because I never get to respond to anything like this because I don't know anything about half the people that people ask me about. Oh, okay, so Kristen said, Peter, you need to revisit Good American Family. It turned into a very sympathetic towards Natalia Grace. All episodes are out now, so you may want to finish that. So I appreciate you saying that, because I have it on my list and I haven't returned back to watching Good American Family. But I think my experience with it is actually a really good example of why the show is such a shit show, okay? And why I will stand by, I don't even care how good the show turns out to be. And Kristen, thank you for this, because I had kind of forgotten about it. It was on my list, but I just keep on, like, going past it. So, the first 2 episodes that I watched made Christine Barnett look like a saint and Natalia Grace look like a total fool. I mean, the girl that played her, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And somebody said to me at that time, well, they're going to show it from all different points of view. But they didn't explain that in the show at the beginning of the show. And I didn't know that until somebody said that to me. You wouldn't know that if you were just watching the show. You'd wait for each episode to come out. Well, if you got bored with it, like I did, after 2 episodes, then what you would think is, well, this Natalia Grace is crazy and she was scamming her family. And that's my issue with the show. And Kristen, thank you so much for letting me know, because I didn't know, I had kind of, like, I mean, I knew it was still out, but I kind of forgotten about it. So I'm going to go back in and watch it. But I don't love how they did it, because there's so many people that will only watch 10 minutes of a show, 5 minutes of a video, and then make an assumption about something. You know, I might say something at the end of a video, and, like, it was the other day, like, on one of my videos, somebody said something, it was on my drama channel, and they said, you didn't even talk about this, and I was like, I literally included the entire clip at the end of my video, so and I said it in my video, I'm gonna include these clips. So it's like, people will watch like 2 minutes of a video, 2 minutes of a TV show, listen to a minute of a song and make an assumption about it without watching the whole thing. It's one of the reasons, like, why when I do TV reactions and stuff like that, I typically like to watch, like, that episode, the whole episode, take notes, or the whole series of a show, if I'm going to do a series reaction or whatever, because I don't want to make an assumption based on it. But with this, and I have some really genuine protective feelings about the story of Natalia Grace, because I think that that is a human being that has been done so wrong in our society based on that, her, you know, the issues that she has, her physical issues that she has. And I think that she is judged harshly and whatever. I think it's disgusting. It breaks my heart for her. And so the fact that the show could have taken it from the point of view, and I'm sure that the way they did it was to show Natalia's truth at the end of it, then what they should have at least done at the beginning of it is show kind of like Natalia looking back on it. There's no way in those first 2 episodes, if you watched it, and I watched it and I thought, if this is going to be how it is, I'm not watching the rest of the show, because I don't align. I don't support this. And so, if you watched that, you didn't know anything about that story, and you stopped after 2 episodes, and somebody stopped you in the street and said, what do you think about Natalia Grace? You'd think, well, she tried to kill her parents. She lied about her age. That's what you'd think. So I don't love how the show was done. But I will, but thanks, Kristen, I appreciate it. I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch it, because a lot, you're not the only one. A couple people have told me that it gets better, and Natalia's like, saving all. Ashlyn said, stop judging your hostas. We all grow in our own time. I loved that comment so much. I cannot believe that I cannot find this. Oh, somebody's talking about LaDonna Duck in here. Adriana, every time I read your name on here, and she's been commenting for years too, like Neffy, I think of, so many of you have been commenting for years, but the battle room's the halfway mark. I think about, what do you say? Adriana from the Real Housewives in Beverly, of Miami. I don't know where the comment is, but I said something about where we were or something. Oh, here it is. This is from Tara. She said, Peter, I hope you get some rest soon. Also, I think you live near Jessica Stockstill. Can't believe my 2 favorite YouTubers live near each other. So I don't really know a whole lot about her. Actually, people have reached out to me a couple times through the years and asked me if I know her. I think we were at Rev, like the 2nd year I was there together or something, and somebody was like, that's Jessica Stockstill. Do you know her? She's like a YouTube, like, I don't know her. I don't know anything about her. Her husband's like a coach for the Colts or something like that. The Colts have like 42 coaches, and we have friends of ours that are married to coaches. I'm kind of surprised I've never like ran into her like through friends. Because I do know that we have some common friends. But somebody said, where do you live? So this is interesting. So one of my friends actually does like know her husband and her through somebody else, and was like, when they bought their new house, was like, where is it? All these people are like online guessing where it was and stuff like that, because I like looked it up. I was like, does she even live in Indianapolis anymore? I don't think I've ever watched one of her videos or anything like that. She seems like a nice girl. I don't know. I don't really know anything about her to say. I don't know if she's problematic, if she's a nice person. I don't know anything about her. But I do know where their new house is, because one of my friends was like, oh, do you know whatever? I'll tell you what's interesting is in Indianapolis, she would probably be more known for her husband's role as a coach for the Colts than because she's an influencer. Indianapolis doesn't give a shit about influencers, I just don't, or YouTubers or anybody like that. But so I do know where she lives. I'm not going to tell it on here. I think that's weird that anybody would do it. But I do know where she's lived. But everybody's guessing online. I think that's so weird when people want to do... I mean, like, let somebody have their privacy, right? Like, if they want to show you where they live, they'll show you where they live. But let somebody have their privacy. But, so she lives in a very beautiful area. I will just say that. Very, very beautiful area. One of my favorite areas of Indianapolis. And its suburbs. One of my very favorite areas. And she seems really nice. I kind of, like, rolled through her stuff yesterday because I saw that comment on there. And I was like... That's a name I haven't heard in a while, until, like, my friend, I think it was my friend and I were like, anyway, so, I don't know, she's somebody that I should watch. Somebody recently, and I screenshot it, and I never went back and watched her videos. It's called, like, Jetting by Anna or something. It's somebody, like, a flight attendant's YouTube channel, and all she does is talk about flying. I was like, oh my god, I am so in. And then I screenshot it. One of you guys told me about it. I find a lot of YouTubers through you guys. I mean, Max Velocity and Ryan Hall, y'all, I found out from you guys. I think Marissa was the first one, actually. And then, like, I mean, I'm obsessed. You guys give me a lot of recommendations, because I think you watch me so much that you know who I would like or who I wouldn't, you know? So please, like, if Jessica Stockstill is somebody that I would like, let me know. I'm not real into the lifestyle blogging kind of, I mean, maybe, I don't know, but I kind of like unique stuff, you know? So when I saw that, oh my god, there's a flight attendant, I haven't watched any of her videos, so I don't know what those are about. But I like people that have different concepts for, you know, channels and stuff like that. And of course, I love animal channels. I love animal channels. You know what I just found out recently, and I didn't even know this? That, like, Norbert the dog that passed away, and, like, all these dogs, like, I thought they were just, like, on Instagram and TikTok. They all have YouTube channels, too. Norbert's channel keeps on showing up for me. And they're, like, minute clips. People ask me, they're like, if you get another dog, are you going to do, like, I'm like, I don't know, like, I haven't got another dog yet, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we're going to do it, what we're going to do with it. I don't know. I always wanted to with Pee-Pee and Tucker and Boo Radley. That's probably, you know, you talk about regrets. That's probably one of my regrets. My surface level regrets is that I didn't do, like, a dedicated YouTube channel with them or something like that. I mean, those dogs had such personality, you know, and I just, like, I don't know. And I think partly because they cheered me up so much, and that, you know, like, little Thumbelina wrote her mom a Mother's Day card today. I mean, you know, the dad did it, but I love that so much. And just these little, I mean, like, Norbert, like, running around in his little bed and whatever, you know, or, oh my god, Betty and Bean, I love them so much. Big Marv, oh my god, I love Big Marv so much. But those dogs bring me so much joy that, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not there yet. Anyway. Somebody said the other day on my videos they love when men wear bracelets. I love when anybody wears bracelets. And so I'm trying to wear more. Well, I just got back from dinner too. I just took my watch off and put it inside. But I think I'm going to buy a jewelry box. This is one of my goals for being with Caroline this week. Because, remember I was showing you those wooded bracelets I had? Those beaded bracelets, and I went into the whole conversation about my mom? I have boxes and boxes of all that kind of jewelry. I want to go through it. And I know when I say this, somebody will say, do it for a video. That's going to be like a 3-hour video, okay? But I want to go through, like, oh, I could do that, though, and tell, like, stories about it. I want to go through it, and I want to buy a new, like, a jewelry box that I can put next to, like, my other, like, that keeps my bracelets and my watches and stuff. And then it would have, like, all of, like, that kind of jewelry, like, beaded jewelry, my necklaces that have, like, Bob Dylan, like, guitar pick on it, and my necklace that has, like, all Beatles memorabilia and stuff. I got those all at Lucky years ago. But I love those necklaces. I have some really cool necklaces that I'd like to keep in there so that, but there's a lot of junk that I'll never use again. And then that way, I could just kind of go through there and pick it out. Because I kind of like mixing this kind of stuff. Like, I love this David Yurman bracelet so much. And then Alex got me this one at Louis Vuitton. But I love mixing this kind of stuff with, like, real colorful, like, beaded bracelets. So I think I'm going to get a jewelry box. I don't want just, like, a jewelry box. Like, I want it to be kind of, like, more, like, organized for, I'm thinking, like, crafty more. Like, for beads. So I could, like, roll a beaded necklace or a bracelet. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? Anyway, not like a typical jewelry box. But anyway. Well, alright, I'm gonna get off here now, and I'm gonna go inside and start uploading this, and then I'm going to finish, well, I'm not gonna finish it, but I'm gonna listen to this other audiobook, unless Alex wants to watch a movie or something. He's probably asleep inside, and then I'm gonna take a nap at some point, watch Sister Wives tonight. Oh, I didn't tell you about my shows last night that I watched. So, I finished the other Ashley Flowers book, and then I started this one, which is whatever it was called, The People Still Here, or whatever. And then I watched, I listened, so I didn't even start watching TV until like 1:30 last night. So I had like half or maybe 3/4 of Southern Fried Lies on Peacock. It's such a great documentary. It's such a good documentary, true crime documentary. Sad, but the characters in the story that, I mean, real people, it's so well done. Well then, Tanya had already watched Deadly American Family. Nikki wanted to watch it. Somebody else told me about it. Maybe Mel. I can't remember. But anyway, maybe it was my sponsor. She watches a lot of true crime. So I was like, it was late, but I was like, I'm going to start. I think it was like 3. And I was like, well, if I watch it, it was like an hour and 42 minutes or something. I was like, if I watch this now, then I'll be done. I can go to bed by like 5 or whatever. Well, I kept on getting distracted. People were calling me. Recovery friends of mine were calling me. And so I was talking to them. And then I was doing laundry. And so I didn't even end up finishing it until like 10 after 6. I got about halfway through and I was like, okay, you're not, if you keep on watching this, it's going to be after 6 when you finish it. But I was like, if you watch it, there's so many twists and turns. First of all, I'll just say, I feel so bad for those kids. I feel so bad for those kids. And when I got done with it, I thought, am I not being fair? Like, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. So I was like, am I not being fair in my observation about the show? I was like, I don't know, you know? And so I got online and I was like reading people's responses to it. I'm like, oh, so I'm not the only one that thinks this woman's a shit show? Like, okay, I guess it's like, that's kind of the common ground on it. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so I watched that. And then I kind of sat in the chair and I was just kind of like looking through my Goodreads and stuff like that. Well, oh, I know why. Because I blew out my candles and I had to sit there for a little bit. So I ended up going to bed at like 6:30. Well, I had to be up at 11:30, so I only got 5 hours of sleep. But I fell asleep real quick last night. But 2 nights, no nap. Isn't that weird? So I fell asleep real quick last night, and then, or this morning when I went to bed. Got up and took a shower. Alex took a shower. We got dressed, went to brunch. Now we're back. Here's my vlog. And then tomorrow, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Chris always says that on, Chris, I don't know what his last name is. I can't remember, but it's not Slayton. Chris, Tammy and Amy Slayton, he always says that on 1,000 Pound Sisters. God willing, and the creek don't rise. So, this one chick in the Southern, if you've watched it, Donna in there, her one-liners, I mean, she should be a drag queen because she has so many just like one-liners in there. And she's like, this one part, she says, girl, she looks at the producer and she calls her girl. She goes, girl, get me a Bible, because I never said that. I was like, oh my God, this woman is so much. So anyway, but yeah, so tonight I still have to catch up on Hacks. I just don't want the battery to stop, because I'm not going to, like, if it just stops, it just stops. I'm not going to go get another battery just to do a 10-second outro. Okay, so tonight I have Sister Wives. I haven't started The Valley yet. I have to catch up on The Last of Us and Hacks. I'll probably do that tonight. And then Poker Face I saw, but I think I might wait for another couple episodes for Poker Face to come out and then binge watch that maybe. It's a binge watching show. It's a binge watching show, don't you know? Anyway, thank y'all for your comments. I hope y'all didn't take any offense to how I said anything. Especially about the, like, listen, so many people correct me all the time. We've all corrected people all the time. People correct me. I just, like, you know what? I think I mispronounce about every word possible out there. I mean, people sometimes will be like, do you do it on purpose? I don't do it on purpose. I really don't. But what will happen is I'll do it and then it kind of sticks. And it's almost kind of like, I think it's funnier than the original. Now, I know, like, saying, like, you know, like, there's something else I say, because also, in addition to, I couldn't care less, but, like, that's just stuck. Now I can't get it out of my head. I can't, it's like the double negatives kind of things. Like, it's like those kinds of things I just can't get out of my head. But I was just on the phone earlier this week, so please do not take offense. When one of my friends said, Peter, you do realize, they were like, I was watching something that you said, one of your videos, and you said I couldn't care less. I was like, what? They just started laughing. I said, I know. I said, so many people have corrected me. In the moment, listen, first of all, I think we all know, you know, I talk a mile a minute, okay? I talk a mile a minute. And so it might be out there for a mile before I even catch it, if that makes sense. Anyway, to all of you mothers out there, whoever's celebrating Mother's Day, I hope that you guys had a magically amazing Mother's Day and a fantastic Sunday. I hope that you're getting refreshed, renewed, rejuvenated, and relaxed for the week ahead. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!